Yeah. Next scheduling algorithm is round robin scheduling. Okay, which is mentioned as RR. Okay, RR means round robin scheduling. Okay, to implement this round robin scheduling, we keep ready queue as a first in, first out queue of processes. Okay, here it is like the ready queue will be whichever process will come first to the ready queue, that process will get executed in round robin scheduling. Okay, so to implement this round robin scheduling, we keep the ready queue as a first in, first out queuing process. Okay, here the round robin scheduling algorithm is designed especially for the time sharing systems, because will be having many processes which will be running here in time sharing systems. Okay, every process should get some time for its execution. Okay, for that purpose we use round robin scheduling algorithm. Okay, that is designed especially for the time sharing systems. Okay, it is similar to the first come first serve scheduling algorithm. Round robin scheduling algorithm will be it will be similar to first come first serve scheduling. Okay, but preemption is added to the switch between the process. Okay, so here it will be like it will round robin scheduling algorithm will work like a first come first serve scheduling algorithm, because the queue will be ready queue will be like first in first out. Okay, whichever process will be entered to the ready queue first, that process will be allocated the cpu first. Okay, so it is similar to first come first serve scheduling, but here one thing extra thing for will be there, that is preemption is added to switch between the processes. Okay, we'll discuss that what is the preemption which is added to the each process in round robin scheduling. We'll see here a small unit of time. Okay, a small unit of time called time quantum or time slice. Okay, a time quantum or time slice will be defined in round robin scheduling. Okay, a time quantum is generally from 10 to 100 milliseconds. Okay. By using this time quantum or time slice, the process will the cpu will be switched from one process to other process in round robin scheduling. That is the difference between round robin scheduling and first come first serve scheduling. Okay, in first come first serve scheduling, it is round robin scheduling is similar to the first come first serve scheduling. Only the difference is it has the preemption that is added to switch between the processes. Here the preemption is the time quantum. Okay, time quantum, using the time quantum, the cpu will be switched from one process to other process. Okay, and usually the time quantum will be from 10 to 100 milliseconds. Here the ready queue is treated as a circular queue in round robin scheduling. Okay, why we use circular queues here? Because all the whatever process in the ready queue, all the process will be executed by the cpu for some time quantum time. Okay, some at least whatever time slice we define, for that time slice the each process will be executed by the cpu. Okay, process need not to wait for any priority, or if the process based on shortest burst time, here the scheduling will not be on that. Okay, every process will get cpu after some time slice. Okay, so the ready queue is treated as a circular queue. Okay, the cpu scheduler goes around this ready queue and allocating the cpu to each process for a time interval of up to one time quantum. Okay, each process will be executed by the cpu for up to one time quantum. Okay, after completion of the time quantum, cpu will be shifted to next process in the ready queue. Like that, complete after completion of one round, Next, again, the process which has come first to that ready queue, that will get another one time quantum CPU. Okay, CPU will execute the processes after one after other for time quantum. Whatever time quantum we define, that much time the CPU will be executing that processes. Okay, here to implement this round robin scheduling, we discussed that we keep ready queue as a first in first out queue of process, because round robin is like a first come first serve scheduling. Okay, here the ready queue also will be like first in first out queue. Okay, which will be holding the processes in the in this manner, first in first out manner. Okay, new processor added to the tile of the ready queue here. Okay, the process which is added first, that will be at the head of the queue. Okay, and the process which is added at the later, that will be added at the tile of the ready queue. Okay, here the CPU scheduler picks the first process from the ready queue. Okay, CPU scheduler what will do? It will picks the first process from the ready queue for the execution and sets a timer to interrupt after one time quantum. Okay, whatever time quantum we have defined, for that time quantum, the CPU scheduler will set a timer to interrupt. Okay, and dispatches the process. After completion of that time quantum, the process will be dispatched. Okay, one of two things which will happen here is, if the process may have the CPU burst time of less than the time quantum. Okay, if the time quantum we have given is 4 milliseconds, but our process burst time is only 2 milliseconds, what we'll do, after execution for 2 milliseconds, process itself will voluntarily release the CPU. Okay, if the situation is like this, the process may have the CPU burst time of less than one time quantum. In this case, the process itself will release the CPU voluntarily. Okay, the scheduler will then proceed to next process in the ready queue. Okay, scheduler will be executing next process which is in the ready queue. Okay, otherwise here another situation, like if the CPU burst of the currently running process is longer than the time quantum. Okay, if our time quantum we have defined is 4 milliseconds, or my process CPU burst time is 10 milliseconds. Okay, so at the time, the timer will go off and will cause the interrupt to the operating system. Okay, what the operating system will do, a context switch will be executed and the process will be put at the tile of the ready queue. Okay, the process will be preempted from the CPU and the process will be put at the tile of the ready queue, and after the execution of all the remaining process which are in the ready queue, the process will again get time for execution by the CPU. Okay, so for that purpose, the process will be shifted to the from the CPU to tile of a ready queue after execution of one time quantum. Okay, the CPU scheduler will then select the next process in the ready queue. Okay, the process which is in the ready queue, that process will be selected by the CPU here. Okay, here there will be possible things are two things. One is CPU burst time is less than the time quantum. That time what will do, the process itself will release the CPU. So that CPU will be scheduled for next process which is in the ready queue. Here another situation like that, the CPU burst time will be more than the time quantum. That time, the after completion of that time quantum time execution, the process will be preempted from the CPU and the process will be added to the tile of the ready queue. Okay, and it will CPU will be allotted for next process which is in the ready queue. Okay, that is round robin scheduling. Here, the average waiting time under the round robin policy is often long. Okay, we'll see an example using round robin scheduling. Here, consider the following set of processes that arrive at time 0. Okay, and quantum is 4 milliseconds. We are defining the time slice is 4 milliseconds. That means every process should run for 4 milliseconds, and then it should another process should get executed. Okay, so the time quantum is given here in this problem is 4 milliseconds, with the length of CPU bursts are given in milliseconds here. Here we have the total number of processes, 3 processes, process 1, process 2, process 3, and its burst times are given 24, 3, 3. Okay, these are the burst times are given for the processes. Okay, and we have discussed that how the process will be placed in the ready queue. Processes will be in the ready queue in the manner of first come first serve manner. Okay, first in first out manner. Okay, here all the processes are arrived at time 0. That means process 1 arrived the CPU first, then process 2 arrived, process 3 arrived. All these processes are arrived at time 0, but order of arrival we are considering as process 1, process 2 and process 3. Okay, here if we use the time quantum of 4 milliseconds, okay, then process 1 will get the first 4 milliseconds. Okay, here you can see first process 1 will be in the ready queue's head. Next process 2 will be there. Next process 3 will be there. Okay. So here we have defined the time quantum is 4 milliseconds. So the process 1 will get CPU will be allotted for the process 1 for first 4 milliseconds. Okay. First 4 milliseconds will be executed by the CPU. The process 1 will be executed by the CPU for first 4 milliseconds. Okay. Since it requires another 20 milliseconds, then this process 1 is preempted after the first quantum, and then and the CPU is given to the next process in the queue. Okay, that is process 2. Okay, again after completion of its time quantum, the process 1 will be put to the tail of a queue. Okay, in queue we have the process 1, process 2, process 3. Okay, after its time quantum of 4 milliseconds execution, process 1 again put back for the tail of a ready queue. Okay, next the CPU will be allocated for the process 2. Okay, here the time quantum is 4 milliseconds, but what is the burst time of process 2 is only 3 milliseconds. Okay, process 2 will get executed by the CPU at clock time 4 milliseconds. Its burst time is 3 milliseconds. So 4 plus 3 at 7 milliseconds, process 2 completes its execution and CPU will be switched to next process in the queue. Next process in the queue we have process 3, and process 3's burst time is 3 milliseconds. At clock time 7 milliseconds, CPU will start executing the process 3. Okay, and its burst time is 3 milliseconds. Okay, 7 plus 3, it is 10 milliseconds. Process 3 will complete its execution. Okay, after that we have at the tail of the queue process 1, because process 1 got executed only for 4 milliseconds. Still we have 20 milliseconds process 1 need to be executed by the CPU. Okay, so now the process 1 will be allocated to the CPU. It will be allocated to the CPU. It will execute it for 4 more milliseconds, because the quantum is defined as 4 milliseconds. Okay, after that there is no other process in the ready queue. So now the process 1 only will get executed by the CPU for next 4 more minutes. Okay, there is no other process for execution in the ready queue. So next 4 more minutes also process 1 will get executed. Okay, there is no other process in the ready queue. So next also process 1 only will get executed by the CPU. Okay, until the process 1 complete its burst time, process 1 only will get executed by the CPU for every process 1, every 4 minutes that interrupt will be generated. Okay, that time the operating system will check for is there any new process in the ready queue. If there is no new process in the ready queue, the same process will be executed for next 4 more milliseconds. Okay, like this round robin scheduling will be done. Okay, here the average waiting time is 5.66 milliseconds. Okay, the round robin scheduling algorithm is called as preemptive scheduling, because the process after executing for some time, it is preempted from the CPU. Okay, and it will be added to the tail of the ready queue. Okay, so we call it as round robin scheduling algorithm is called as preemptive scheduling. Okay, and typically higher average turnaround than the shortest job first scheduling. Okay, but better response will be there for this algorithm. Okay, it will be having higher average turnaround time than shortest job first scheduling in round robin scheduling. Okay, here if there are n processes in the ready queue of round robin scheduling. Okay, if you are following this round robin scheduling, if there are n processes in the ready queue and the time quantum is defined as q. Okay, assume that time quantum is q, then each process gets 1 divided by n of the CPU in chunks of at most q quantum units. Okay, each process gets 1 divided by n of CPU time in chunks. Okay, what is the size of the chunks? The chunks of most q time units. Okay, quantum q. Okay, each chunk will be length of the quantum, which is defined as q here. Okay, and each process must wait no longer than n minus 1 into q times the q time units until its next time quantum. Okay, until it next time quantum comes, the each process must wait in the ready queue for not longer than n minus 1 into q time units. Okay, if we say an example with 5 processes and a time quantum of 20 milliseconds, each process will get up to 20 milliseconds every 100 milliseconds in round robin scheduling. Okay, understood this round robin scheduling? Here the processes, the CPU processes in the ready queue will be in this first in first out fashion. Okay, each process will get CPU for whatever defined time quantum time. Okay, after completion of that time quantum time, operating system CPU scheduler will generate a interrupt, then operating system will allocate the CPU to next process which is waiting in the ready queue, and the process which was already executing in the CPU will be preempted, and that process will be added to the tail of a ready queue. This is round robin scheduling.